So we're on the bathroom side now, and what we've got are these old tiles. Behind that, it's been skimmed in the past, but it's basically a lime plaster and more laths. So we're gonna have to do the same on this side, strip it all back, which will leave us just with the studs between this room and the other. I've taken off the side of the bath to check the structure under there, and it all seems pretty fine. Somebody in the past has built a 4-block high concrete wall, and I guess that's just to give the bath something to seal against rather than the lime plaster, but that can come out. This old steel bath's got to come out, and then we can get prepped ready for the new one. Tiles absolutely everywhere, all got to come down. Taking these old tiles off, obviously the adhesive and grouting is so much stronger than the lime is bonded to the stone, so what happens is the whole lot comes off, and there's no real way to avoid that. Even with really careful chipping away, you still end up damaging all the plaster. It looks like from here down may be rendered with sand and cement, so that might stay intact. But we're going to have some repair work up here, so we might just have to use some renovation plaster. And that's all the way up, unfortunately. This wall is another lath and plaster wall. Again, it's got to be taken back to at least the laths, maybe the studs, so we can put the aqua panel along the side of the bath where the shower's going to be. So taking off this old towel radiator, and it's actually quite a nice old chrome one, so I'm going to keep that for another bathroom or bedroom ensuite. Small radiator that was over under the window, I've taken that off, and we'll probably put a small one back there eventually. So I'm going to have to seal myself in again. Jo's home today, so hopefully she can tape the doors to make sure there's absolutely no chance of dust getting everywhere. We'll crack open this window here as well, and hopefully we'll get all the dust outside. So I've taken out that stud, which is going to free up this sort of alcove from the bathroom end, and so it turns out most of the weight on this top beam here, this top plate, is being carried on the two studs either end, which are kind of 4x4 or 4x5 studs. So I'm not too worried about taking that one out. I probably will just strengthen it at the top there with a 4x4 or two 6x2s. Wow, so it has been a pretty dusty day getting all this done. I've already done one trip with a similar amount of bags of rubble as I've got here. Don't really want to overload them. A lot of these are full of tiles, so they're splitting. Managed to get a lot of this ripped out now. And this is what the bathroom's like at the moment. And yes, we still are using this bathroom, believe it or not. Managed to strip this wall here. I was gonna see if I could leave it, but the tile adhesive is just so much stronger than any of the old lime plaster, so the whole lot rips off. Everything from this point down, you can see they've, in the past when they did this bathroom fit out, probably in the 60s or so, they've taken off all the lime plaster down here, but left on the wooden laths, and then they've actually put like a cement and sand mortar on, so this is much harder, and it's kind of not going anywhere. The bath position is actually the same, and the shower will be up on that wall, so we'll obviously have tiling down this side and along the side of the bath, and when we step it down to where the sink is, we may well actually use this sort of height as our guide, and that carries on round on this external wall here all the way across. So I think we'll use that to our advantage, and we'll kind of treat that as our tile height. And then all the stonework ended up being exposed. The plaster just fell off when I removed the tiles, but you know, this whole thing's pretty fluid, this renovation, and I think what we're going to do now is just really give these a really good brush and clean down, and possibly do a bit of repointing where needed. And then what we'll do is we'll whitewash or use a breathable chalk paint, and we'll actually paint all the stonework here, strip back the wooden beam above the window, and make a bit of a feature of this. The new window's got to go in anyway, so I might have to play around a bit how we kind of marry the stone up to the frame, but that's all good. Again, the other side of this wall is the airing cupboard where the cylinder is, so that's staying put. but all this kind of started falling down, so I've stripped everything back to the studs. I'll clean all these up, brush everything out, take all these nails out that are stuck in here, and then that'll be boarded. And at this point it will go in. It's going to go in about 450 deep, and then come back up, and that's where we're going to have a towel radiator. And then what I'm going to do is use the space between these studs here, build some open shelving, so kind of nice chunky oak effect shelving there, which we can kind of stack towels on, and possibly a cupboard below, and then that bit will be walled. So that's where we're at. So quick update, I'm about halfway through the bathroom now, about halfway. The horrible bit is this, it's ripping everything back to the stud work. All of this was tiles, then lime plaster, then the laths. Packed behind was sawdust as well. So it's just, you can imagine the amount of dust that is in the house, and there's not much we can do about it apart from keeping the ventilation as best as we can and sealing up the doors. But so by the end of tonight, I'm hoping that all of the dusty work, the destructive dusty work, will be done. Bath came out fairly easily. I just need to cap off the 22mm pipe, the hot pipe, so I can put the hot water back on for the rest of the house. Cold, I've done that already, capped those off. Toilet is going to have to stay in place because it's the only one in the house. So I'm going to have to kind of work my way around there, and we'll just have to kind of make do with that. And when they come to plaster, they might just have to lift off the cistern and work around it. Shower came out fine. I've disconnected all the old cabling. This old 15 is now redundant, so I can cut that off. All of these studs have got hundreds and hundreds of these pin nails in. They all need to come out. So the aim is, by the end of tonight, I'm going to have a bit of a blank canvas. So I have everything back just to the studs. The whole bathroom suite will be out if I can get this bath out the door. and really good sweep down. I'll bring the shop back in and we'll hoover everything up, and it really should help the rest of the work. I'll give you a quick look now. That basically we've uncovered all the stonework because all the plaster fell off. But seeing it, we've decided we're going to make a feature of that wall, and there's a render on the bottom half of the wall which we may keep. And what we'll do is we'll get that skimmed flat. We'll have a painted section at the bottom which will be kind of our waterproof area around the sink, window and toilet. So it's not going to get splashed by the bath or anything. And then we'll put a bit of a sill sort of trim on top of that. And the rest of it, we're going to clean up all the stonework, repoint it, and make a feature of the beam and fit the new window. So I'll show you that now. So it looks like a real mess at the moment, but actually this stonework really should clean up quite nicely. I'm going to take back the lime mortar, just so we've got a bit, you know, an inch or so that I can then go back in and repoint all the stonework. There's a wooden lintel at the top as well, which we can strip back and make that nice. And then this is the halfway point where I said we'll render and paint up to here, and then stonework above. Last of the wood to go out. I'm trying to sort out as much as I can for recycling. So I'll sort all this out, bag it, and then this stud-work's all got to be cladded still in board. And then this room, I'm about halfway through stripping the walls, and that's about it. So next job, once we're clear, will be to board everything. And I've got a combination of moisture-resistant plasterboard for the green stuff for areas that aren't going to get directly wet but are still in the bathroom. I've got tile backer board to go around the shower end, which will probably end up tanking. And then I've got regular 12.5mm plasterboard for the rest of this room. So thanks for watching. Join me in the next video when we'll be doing some more constructive work and building this sort of alcove and cupboard for the bathroom, putting all the boards up and getting ready for the plastering. So see you in the next video. Remember, if you can, do it yourself, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.